Hey, who would have ever thought, right? The gambler in Havasu. What brought us here is my fiance skied here all her life, skied in Parker, all that kind of stuff. And we came out here a couple years ago in May when it was really hot and started looking around.
Yeah. So you can give me some prom.
Open your eyes.
My eyes are open.
Open your eyes.
And if you don't like it, yeah. Really? Yeah.
For over a decade, millions of viewers were glued to their screens, watching with fascination as bidders battled over the unknown contents of abandoned storage lockers. Storage Wars quickly became one of A&E's most popular shows, selling us all on a tantalizing dream that ordinary folks could stumble upon. Extraordinary treasures hidden behind rusted padlocks and forgotten keys. It wasn't just entertainment, it felt real. We rooted for our favorite bidders, gasped at shocking finds, and reveled in the confrontations that often unfolded right there in the dusty auction yards. But behind the allure of spontaneous discovery and rags to riches luck was a far murkier reality. What if those authentic moments were carefully orchestrated? What if those incredible jackpots weren't random luck at all, but carefully planted to craft a perfect episode? In 2012, the curtain was yanked back when one of the show's central figures filed a lawsuit that claimed almost everything we thought we knew about Storage Wars was a lie. The confrontations, the discoveries, even the people we were led to believe it was all real. But suddenly, the idea that treasure was just waiting to be found in a forgotten locker started to look more like a well-rehearsed performance. The real story of Storage Wars isn't about what was found in the storage units. It's about how millions of viewers were fooled, week after week, by a show that blurred the line between reality and fiction with stunning precision. The genius of Storage Wars lay in its simplicity. Real people bidding on real storage units with real money, hoping to uncover hidden gems that could change their lives. It was marketed as raw, unscripted, drama, predictable, and unsanitized. The show tapped into something primal in viewers: the excitement of gambling, the hope of discovery, and the appeal of authenticity. These weren't actors. We were told these were hard-nosed treasure hunters, each with their own quirky personality and bidding style. Daryl with his bravado, Barry with his eccentric charm, Dave Hester with his antagonistic swagger. These weren't characters written in a writer's room, but supposedly real people doing real things. But as the show's popularity soared at one point, pulling in over 5 million viewers per episode, the demands for drama and ratings began to outweigh the commitment to truth. Real storage unit auctions, in reality, are often tedious affairs. Most lockers contain little more than old clothes, broken furniture, and forgotten personal items. The real-life odds of finding something valuable are slim, yet on Storage Wars, nearly every episode featured someone pulling out a rare collectible, antique or bizarre oddity worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. It was too good to be true, and it was the show that once prided itself on being unpredictable slowly became a well-oiled machine of scripted conflict, planted discoveries, and strategically manufactured tension, all designed to keep viewers entertained and advertisers happy. In December of 2012, Dave Hester, one of the show's most recognizable figures, filed a wrongful termination lawsuit that would send shockwaves through the reality television world. In that lawsuit, Hester didn't just allege minor behind-the-scenes manipulation. He essentially accused the entire show of being a calculated deception. According to him, nearly every aspect of the production was fake. The bidders weren't just auction pros, they were carefully selected characters. The discoveries weren't luck, they were planted by producers. Bidding wars weren't spontaneous, they were choreographed. Hester's most explosive claim involved what he called the salting of storage units, meaning that producers would secretly place valuable or bizarre items inside lockers before filming to ensure that the episode had a compelling payoff. That dusty locker filled with vintage comics or rare sports memorabilia, it didn't just happen to be there. In many cases, Hester claimed, it was all set dressing. Even more troubling was his assertion that producers paid for storage units on behalf of certain cast members to keep them in the game, creating artificial rivalries and allowing less successful bidders to remain part of the story. This wasn't just a little TV trickery, it was full-blown fiction disguised as fact. The lawsuit also revealed that many of the on-camera interviews were scripted. Auction scenes were reshot or rearranged, and cast members were encouraged to exaggerate or fabricate their reactions. What the audience saw as drama was, according to Hester, often the result of editing sleight of hand and performance. It's not real emotion. The techniques described in Hester's lawsuit weren't unique to Storage Wars, they're common in the reality TV industry. But what made the revelations so shocking was how deeply embedded these techniques were in a show that positioned itself as unscripted. One of the most disturbing practices alleged was frankenbiting, a method where producers spliced together clips of dialogue from different moments to create entirely new sentences or reactions. With this technique, a neutral comment could be turned into a cutting insult, or a quiet moment into a heated exchange. It's a powerful tool that allows editors to manufacture conflict and emotion out of thin air. According to Hester, this wasn't the exception, it was standard operating procedure. The show also allegedly employed strategic editing to mislead viewers about the value of certain finds. Items presented as rare antiques might have been common reproductions. Experts brought in to appraise finds were often part of the production, or provided evaluations that fit the script's needs. Even the use of dramatic music cues, quick cuts, and exaggerated reactions played a role in creating a false sense of excitement or urgency. And the brilliance of it all. Most viewers never suspected a thing. The editing was seamless, the performances convincing. Unless you knew what to look for, you would have no reason to question the authenticity. And that's what made the deception so effective. It wasn't just about fooling the audience. It was about making them want to believe. The fallout from these revelations was messy and far-reaching. Once the illusion was shattered, fans began to view the show with fresh skepticism. But perhaps more uncomfortable than the deception itself was the question of who knew and who participated. Not all cast members commented publicly, but some made statements that only deepened the mystery. Brandon Sheets, the son of Daryl Sheets, said in an interview that they pretty much buy all the units, we just show up and film. They walk us through and tell us what to say. True, that's not just a passive acceptance of staging, its active participation. Barry Weiss, affectionately known as the Collector, was beloved by fans for his quirky style and genuine personality. While he never publicly accused the show of staging, many believe that because of his wealth and independence, he may have been less willing to play along with the fakery, which could explain his eventual departure. Renee Nasoda, who joined in later seasons, offered a more diplomatic take, acknowledging the show's need for entertainment while stopping short of confirming any wrongdoing. He reportedly said something like, "It's TV. Not every locker is a winner in real life." That phrase alone suggests a quiet acknowledgement of the line between fact and fiction. The reality is, for many cast members, the show was a financial lifeline. Being on Storage Wars opened doors, brought fame, and helped grow their businesses. Walking away or speaking out meant risking all of that. And so, even as accusations flew, many chose silence. But the damage to their reputations was done. In the storage auction community, where trust and authenticity matter, being associated with stage drama left a lasting stain. By 2014, the lawsuit was settled out of court. The terms were confidential, and Dave Hester returned to the show for season 5. But the damage had already been done. A&E, perhaps feeling the pressure, began airing a disclaimer at the start of each episode. The program is produced for entertainment purposes. Elements of the program are arranged for dramatic and entertainment purposes. That line, just a few words long, completely reframed what the audience was watching. It was no longer a show about real-life treasure. Hunter's It was entertainment with a storyline, characters, and arcs like any other scripted drama. Viewership declined. Fans who once believed in the thrill of the hunt now watched with doubt. What was real? What was staged? The trust that made the show compelling had been broken. Tom Beers, the CEO of Original Productions, once described reality TV by saying, "We're storytellers. Take reality and shape it into a story." That might be an honest admission, but it also reveals just how far these shows have strayed from true documentation. Storage Wars didn't just reflect a trend in television. It helped shape a new genre of scripted reality, where truth is optional and entertainment is king. The legacy of the show is complex. It brought visibility to a niche world and created genuine interest in storage auctions. But it also left behind a trail of broken illusions. It reminded us all that in the world of television, especially reality television, what you see is rarely the full story. Sometimes the real treasure isn't in a storage locker, it's in how well a show can convince you the treasure was there in the first place.